A Sand County Almanac by Aldo Leopold, Part 4, The Upshot, Chapter 2, Wilderness, Section 5, Wilderness for Wildlife. The national parks do not suffice as a means of perpetuating the larger carnivores. Witness the precarious status of the grizzly bear and the fact that the park system is already wolfless. Neither do they suffice for mountain sheep. Most sheep herds are shrinking. The reasons for this are clear in some cases and obscure in others. The parks are certainly too small for such a far-ranging species as the wolf. Many animal species, for reasons unknown, do not seem to thrive as detached islands of population. The most feasible way to enlarge the area available for wilderness fauna is for the wilder parts of the national forests, which usually surround the parks, to function as parks in respect to threatened species. That they have not so functioned is tragically illustrated in the case of the grizzly bear. In 1909, when I first saw the West, there were grizzlies in every major mountain mass, but you could travel for months without meeting a conservation officer. Today, there is some kind of conservation officer behind every bush. Yet, as wildlife bureaus grow, our most magnificent mammal retreats steadily toward the Canadian border. Of the 6,000 grizzlies officially reported as remaining in areas owned by the United States, 5,000 are in Alaska. Only 5 states have any at all. There seems to be a tacit assumption that if grizzlies survive in Canada and Alaska, that is good enough. It is not good enough for me. The Alaskan bears are a distant species. Relegating grizzlies to Alaska is about like relegating happiness to heaven. One may never get there. Saving the grizzly requires a series of large areas from which roads and livestock are excluded, or in which livestock damage is compensated. Buying out scattered livestock ranches is the only way to create such areas. But despite large authority to buy and exchange lands, the conservation bureaus have accomplished virtually nothing toward this end. The Forest Service has established a grizzly range in Montana, but I know of a mountain range in Utah in which the Forest Service actually promoted a sheep industry, despite the fact that it harbored the sole remnant of grizzlies in that state. Permanent grizzly ranges and permanent wilderness areas are, of course, two names for one problem. Enthusiasm about either requires a long view of conservation and a historical perspective. Only those able to see the pageant of evolution can be expected to value its theater, the wilderness, or its outstanding achievement, the grizzly. But if education really educates, there will, in time, be more and more citizens who understand that relics of the Old West add meaning and value to the new. Youth yet unborn will pull up the Missouri with Lewis and Clark, or climb the Sierras with James Capon Adams, and each generation in turn will ask, "Where is the big white bear?" It will be a sorry answer to say he went under while conservationists weren't looking.